So I planned on making this video a long time ago. About 2 months ago, I was planning on making this video. And for some reason, I couldn't either find the time or I couldn't bring myself to do it. I didn't feel like it was the right thing to do for some reason. But it's actually funny because today, because I spoke to the Lord yesterday and asked Him to give me the strength to get up and make this video. And today's verse of the day is Isaiah 61. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Is today's verse. After I asked the Lord yesterday for the strength to get up at a reasonable time this morning and make this video. I don't think it's a coincidence. But so about 3 or 4 months ago, I'll just jump into it. I'm just going to jump into it. About 3 or 4 months ago, uh, a guy that I wasn't really familiar with, he was a political figure. Charlie Kirk had died, and I fell down the rabbit hole. I wasn't even really a fan of him, to be honest with you. I didn't really have an opinion on him. I just kind of saw his videos, knew he was a political figure, and you know, I just, every time he'd just pop up my FYP, and I'd watch what he had to say, and some things he said I agreed with, some things he said I didn't agree with at the time because I didn't believe in God. So he had died, and I kind of felt a certain way about it just because, I don't think anybody should die, period. But I don't think anybody should die for what they believe. You believe just because you believe something, whether it's wrong or right, they shouldn't die. But anyway, I had fell down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, and then I started spiraling, and now, I believe all these things that I didn't believe before about who runs the world and all these theories, and I started learning about World War II in a different light, questioning who the good guys really were. And then I was really big on hatred towards a specific group. I won't speak about the group. It's not really important. The context to the story is important to what ended up happening 2 months later, or a month and a half later after that. But I got really deep into these conspiracies, and then I got super, super, super into it, and I was saying, this group of people should die. They should, we need to kill them all. Like, just get rid of them all. And I was telling people that, and I was going around and I was saying, I was preaching the gospel to them, right? Giving out these conspiracy theories and telling them that everything you believed about this country and everything you believed about its history is wrong. I had a guy, or two guys, that I would talk about it with all the time. Huge believers. One guy didn't really understand why the other guy was pushing the Lord really hard. He said, I don't know why you're telling him about the Lord, because I said that if I had to go to hell, if going to hell meant saving the world from this group of people, that I would do it. That's how into it I was. I just really hated these people. And he kept telling me that, the Lord wouldn't really want that, and it's all prophesized and everything is laid out and all these things must happen. And he said that if these people came to the country and tried to kill him as a Christian, that he just let it happen. And in my mind, I couldn't how can you even say that? Like, how could you be cool with someone coming in here and killing you for your beliefs? How could you follow a leader like Jesus and be okay with just dying? Like, I just can't fathom that. They come in here, they kill you because you're Christian. I couldn't fathom that. So I would, make the argument with them all the time. And then we spoke about Muslims and, you know, how the community feels about other religions in general. But they told me, what the one guy who was against telling me about the Lord told the other one, I feel like this is all pointless. Telling him about the Lord isn't going to change him. He's not going to change. He's okay with being who he is, and he's okay with going to hell. And now looking back, I realize how dumb I was and how ignorant I was. But at the time, I felt like it was necessary, like it was my calling, like I was born to do it, to go and rid the world of this parasite. Is what I felt like I was doing. So for about a month straight, all I did was think about the conspiracies, and I dove so hard into them, and I just I made it my life at that point. I was bringing it home. I was taking it to work. Every single joke someone made, I thought I would try to find a way to fit it in. And I got into a lot of riffs about it, but I felt like I was doing the right thing, telling people about this newfound knowledge that I had. So during that time, I had went to sleep. Of course, everyone sleeps, but this is significant for a whole nother reason. Every night, I feel like I get communicated through with my dreams. It's like a big thing of mine. And I'll have very specific dreams with, I feel like very specific messages, right? And one night, I went to bed and dreamed that I had died. I had died, and I was put into a room with 3 other people. Now I didn't recognize the people, didn't know who they were. For some reason, I felt like one of the guys, there was 2 guys and a girl, but I didn't see them. But for some reason, I knew what they looked like. I didn't see their faces, but I knew what I could describe them to you. One was an Asian guy, a white girl, and I believe the other one I don't remember, but I believe he was also Asian. It was 2 Asian dudes and a white girl and me, who were in a room. But I didn't see their bodies. I couldn't see their bodies. I just knew they were there. I can't explain it. But we were kind of standing in a room trying to figure out what was, what just happened. Because we had all, I guess, simultaneously died. And while we were in the room trying to figure out what was going on, this beast with horns, like deer antlers almost, breaks in, and it's kind of just looking at us. It's just, that's all it is. It's just looking at us. And we're like, what? We got to kill it, right? That's the whole point, right? It's here. It looks like a beast, but we got to kill it. So the 4 of us spent as much time as possible trying to get this thing killed, right? I for some reason, from what I remember, the dream goes, it breaks in. We begin fighting it. I picture me grabbing the thing by the left side of its face. If it's looking at me, the left side of its face, and the dude, one of the Asian dudes, was just on top of the beast, just like grabbing it by the horns. That's an image I remember seeing, but I don't remember the actual fight. But I do remember seeing that image, and so we kill it. We killed it. It's dead. Kind of looking at each other like, all right, so we did it. Now what? What do we do now? And we're kind of standing there, and we get, and one of the people that was in the room with us, I think it was the girl, first person, just gets her head chopped right off. Now, of course, I told you that I can't see bodies, but I know that she got beheaded. Just like I know what they looked like, but I don't know what they looked like because I didn't see their bodies. Like, it's just an odd thing. I can't explain it for, that I have a theory on that, but that's a whole other video. But she gets beheaded, and we like react like what was that? What happened? And then I look over at the two other guys, and one of the other guys gets beheaded as well. And we're like freaking out, like what's going on? I'm looking at the other guy, and he gets beheaded, and I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like freaking out. Of course, I was cussing and freaking out, saying what the f. I was freaking out. So I kind of accepted it. I was like, all right, well, if they lost their heads, I'm probably losing mine too. So I put my head down, I look down, close my eyes, and my head goes too. Now, this next point, my soul had left that room and was cinematically, think of it like a scene out of a movie. Like it's trying to introduce a new area to you, right? So it just cinematically flies through it, right? My soul is cinematically flying through hell. Through hell, because I'm going to hell. I'm flying through hell, and I stop. I stop flying, and I turn around, and there's someone there, and it's like a cat. Kind of like a cat. I think a lot of this dream is trying to, like, the Lord was trying to put things in my mind to show me what hell would look like the way I could fathom it. Took things from memories, boom, boom, boom. Took things from memories like the cat. I thought it was the cat from Dark Souls 1. Like that is specifically what I remember. The demeanor being like, right? The Dark Souls, the cat, the covenant of the cat before before the Sith fight, where you can invade the forest is the cat that I can kind of compare that to. Pretty much told me that I was being watched and everything I did was recorded, and that no matter what I do here in hell, like you are to be punished forever. And then I went to my spot. And in my spot there was 6 total people in the room, including me, and we were kind of in an oval shape. And I believe the room was dark. I couldn't see anything, but I knew there was 5 other people with me, right? Because I heard the chains. I was chained up by my hands from the ceiling. So think of it as like being handcuffed, crossed, right? Your hands are crossed. Your wrist is on top of your other wrist, and my wrists are chained together, and I'm hung from my wrists, right? And I'm hung just high enough so that I can touch the ground, but on the ground are spikes. So no matter what I did, if I wanted to take the pressure off my arms, I'd have to stand. If I stood on spikes. If I wanted to take the pressure off my feet from the spikes, I had to put pressure on my arms, which hurt. Because if you ever been hung by your arms, I've never been hung by my arms, but I can imagine it hurts. Those who have done it probably know, especially considering that would be how I was for eternity, right? So I couldn't really get relief no matter what I did. And I was in I think it might have been a cage, but at the same time there was really tall spikes. So, but if I leaned into those, they were really hot. It was really odd, but it was iron, and I know that hell is hot. So the iron was hot, so I couldn't just lean on it and take the relief off that because I'd get burned. So next to me was a man from the group that I conspiracized against, who I was saying should die, right? And I know it for a fact because of what he was saying when he was there, because he was complaining the whole time. I didn't say a word this whole time. I could, but I didn't. He was saying that he doesn't deserve this and that he thought that his way was right. Why is he getting punished? I did everything you told me to, things like that. Now, when I say the room was dark, it was dark. But I saw something open up below him and drop him into what only I could assume was fire and lava. And he screamed. And that's all he could do, was scream. He couldn't speak anymore. They took the ability from him to speak. They took the ability from him to speak, and they said, "You know what? You're complaining too much. I'm tired of hearing you. How about you scream?" And he dropped down there and he screamed. He screamed loud, real loud. And I'm standing there like, I'm not, all right, then I'm not talking. Right? I'm not going to talk. I just won't say anything. Right? So I should take it like I deserve the punishment. I did this, it's whatever. This is how it's going to be. I missed my opportunity. I had the word and I refused it. And now I'm in hell. So somehow the devil had sent me up back to earth in another human body, not mine, in another vessel, right? But my soul is still there. But I'm inhabiting a body on earth, right? And I had two small horns, like think of devil horns, where they come to a point, but like cut them three quarters off. Cut 3/4 of them off, so they're flat. Like I need to earn them or something. You know what I mean? So I get up on earth, and I'm staring. I'm not familiar with where I am, but I see a hotel, and I'm looking at the hotel, and there's 5 pillars. There's 5 pillars. They had inscriptions and stuff on them that I didn't understand. But the devil had told me to go touch those pillars. So seeing that, I was like, what? Am I the only one seeing this? So someone's walking past me. I'm in like some resort, some vacation spot, because the diversity was all over the place. It's all over the place, and I know the ocean was to my back. I wasn't standing on the beach, but I know that the ocean was to my back. And somebody walks by me, and I go, "Excuse me, do you see those pillars up there?" And she looks at me like I'm crazy. She's like, "What are you talking about?" And back in hell, I'm being punished because I'm getting a deeper punishment because I am not supposed to speak to people. I'm not supposed to speak to people, and I'm not supposed to tell them about what I see. I'm supposed to shut up and go do it, right? So I heard my soul screaming in hell. I heard it, and I knew that when I got back, I was going to endure a pretty serious punishment. So I was like, let me go do it, get it over with, because at this point, what am I going to do? Walk around and delay the punishment? I might as well just get it over with. So I go up to the hotel, and I don't really remember walking up the stairs to get there. I knew I walked up the stairs. I don't remember doing it, but I do remember going up there, and I remember touching these pillars. Nothing happened. But the devil said I was done. So he said, walk back to where you were and rejoin me. So I started walking back, and just before I walked through this portal, taking me back to my soul, something almost like a feeling the back right corner of my body, like my shoulder, my right shoulder. I'm getting ready to walk in, and I feel it like someone grabs me, right? But no one's there. But something grabs me, not even physically, but like a feeling grabs me, and I look to my right and I see this like tunnel. It's like a really big tunnel. It's just like cathedral looking tunnel. And I'm walking through it and I'm like, and once again I'm getting punished. I hear my soul screaming. Right? Because I didn't go in the portal. And I at this point was like, well, I'm up here. If something's grabbing me, maybe it's something I should probably do. I'll get to my punishment in a minute. What is this? You know what I mean? Like what's this feeling grabbing me? And I walk up to this tunnel and I walk past this door in the tunnel. And I'm getting ready to walk past it and I feel the feeling again grabbing me. Hey, turn, turn, turn. And I turned to the door and no one else, I was walking through this tunnel with people. The people were there. But this door was left closed. Like it didn't, like nobody was going, everyone was ignoring it. So I opened it. I opened the door, and in front of me was my body. Was my body, now I don't know this part. I don't know what was up there. I know that, because I don't want to say that it was me. I think it was Jesus. But for some reason, I don't know why I think it was me, but I think more because it was a body being crucified, and I think it makes more sense that it was Jesus, but for some reason when I looked at it, I saw me. That's a better explanation. I knew it was Jesus, but I looked up at it and I saw me. And below the crucifix was a bowl of his blood. And I didn't really know it was his blood, but it was so clean that I had the immediate urge, like, I want to say sucking me towards it, like drawing me. So the strength was so strong, it drew me straight to it. I fell to my knees. And I started crying. And I was, and if people that know me know I don't cry. Like it's not something that I do. It's tough for me to do. And I just fell to my knees and I was crying, like full-fledged sobbing. And I look up and I'm like begging for me, who I saw but knew was Jesus, like on the cross, but like he was projecting me, showing, like almost showing me that I can be reborn. He's like, this is like your body is dead, but you can be reborn. I will bore you again. Right? I'll birth you again. Right? And I'm looking up at him and I'm saying, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sorry. I was wrong. Like, please forgive me. And his blood is right in front of me in a bowl. And I'm washing my face and I'm trying to get the tears out because I don't want to be seen crying. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm sorry. And I wash my face, I'm washing my hands, the blood, like his blood is like coming off on me. And in that moment, my vessel, because like I said, the body that I was in was not me. My body, like, stands up, jolts up, and like looks up to the sky, and I still see the body there, which is why I'm so confused about what I saw, because I saw the body on the crucifix still, and my body coming back, right? It's like the Lord had saved it from hell and brought it to me and said, basically, try again. So, and so I'm trying to remember. I don't want to lie. I regained my body and I flew into the sky because I wasn't anywhere I recognized. So I flew into the sky. And I saw angels all around, everywhere, defending people, like giant angels. And I was told that I was forgiven. That I was forgiven. And then I woke up from, not me personally, but where I died, I woke up where people thought I was dead. And I woke up and I'm like, I'm good. And I continued. What's crazy is I've lived a normal life. In my dream, I continued to live, and I lived according to the way Jesus wanted me to live. And the reason this dream is so significant to me is because when I woke up many times throughout that dream, almost like the devil was trying to like wake me back up and take me out of it. Because anytime I wake up in the middle of a dream, I lose my spot, I forget. Either the devil was trying to wake me up and turn me off of the dream, or the Lord was giving me a chance to, giving me a free will, saying, "Oh, you don't want to dream about hell? It's fine. Don't listen to what I'm telling you," right? Giving me the opportunity to run away, but I kept going back because I'm like, I need to know what this is. I need to know why I'm getting this. And when I woke up, usually I remember dreams. I have dreams written down. I have nightmares written down. And I kind of remember bullet points, like the specifics. I remembered every moment of that dream to this day. Every moment. And I worked out that morning. It was a Sunday morning. I worked out that morning. I was watching football. And I couldn't even get through it. I couldn't get through it, my workout, because I was like just sitting there spaced out, remembering hell. And I knew then that I had to devote my life to the Lord because I didn't want to end up there. Even though He gave me a baby version of hell compared to what it actually is, He gave it to me a way that I could understand instead of just what it probably is, where it's so black you can't see anything, you can't breathe. You can breathe just enough that you suffer, and there's hellfire, And that night, I think I prayed for the first time in, man, 16 years. 16 years since I prayed. And I prayed for the first time, and I just asked Him to forgive me. And it's kind of redundant to ask Him to forgive me, because He died. He literally paid my debt in full. I have $0 balance right now, and I'm asking, metaphorically speaking, I have $0 in debt, and I'm asking the bank to forgive my debt. Your debt's already been paid. Stop worrying about your debt of sin and start worrying about me. Live for me. Dedicate your life to me. And commit works, do works to show your love, And after that, I took it very serious, and to this day, I still take it very serious, the Lord. And I feel like I've been told by one of my coworkers who was very religious that I was on fire for the Lord, and I'm not afraid to offend people. I'll tell you if you're living in sin, and of course I am too, but I feel like I'm here now to bring people to Him. And the people that I'm trying to correct are the people that are misguided, that believe that they are saved and they can do whatever they want, taking His love for granted. So, in conjuncture to that, I was given a break. The Lord gave me a break. He gave me a break from dreams like that. I just dreamed about normal stuff. I started trying to make sure that everything I dreamed about was something I'd be okay with the Lord walking in on the dream and like, what's going on in here? What are you dreaming about? And, you know, just trying to live for Him. And about a week or two later, I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I felt like there was something in the room, right, standing there. Like just in the room, standing there. And I was scared, so I prayed. Said, Lord, if this spirit with me is evil, in Jesus' name, rebuke it. Lord Jesus, rebuke the demon or devil or evil that's in this room with me. Amen. And it stayed. So I knew it wasn't evil, but I didn't know what it was because I didn't feel anxious. I was scared, but I didn't feel like anxious. And a lot of people that say they've encountered demons are shaking. They're scared. They feel disgusting. They feel sick. They've been violated, right? I didn't really feel any of that. I just felt scared because I didn't know what it was. And it did not say a word to me. All it did was communicate to my mind. Did not say a word, by the way. I'm make that very clear. Didn't say a word to me. But it said, I'm running out of time. Right? And I say it said, and I say it didn't say anything, but it said. That's the feeling I got. It was anything, which is crazy because you explain it to somebody who doesn't believe, and you're like, well, you just said that He didn't say anything, and now you're saying it said something. When the paralyzed man was laying there, and Jesus said, "Get up and walk," and he walked, it's like, oh, you can't believe that. So how is that? And Jesus made the man who's paralyzed walk. How is it impossible that He sent an angel to tell me that I'm running out of time without telling me I'm running out of time? How's that a limit of His capability? You know what I mean? The omnipotent God sent me an angel to tell me without saying a word that I'm running out of time. And that's hard to believe. How is that hard to believe? You know what I mean? Anyway, He was telling me that I was running out of time. I didn't ask Him any questions. All I did was put my hand out for Him to grab it. But I held it there for about a minute. Held my hand out for Him to grab it. And maybe He did, but I didn't feel it. So it left. It was gone, just like that. It left me. And maybe it was repairing the Holy Spirit inside of me. Maybe it wasn't. Who knows? All I know, or maybe He was just there to deliver that message. But all I know is that He told me that I'm running out of time. And for some reason, when I say those words, I don't feel like I'm speaking for myself. I feel like a lot of people, I feel like we are all running out of time. And the end is coming. And the Lord will come back. That's not what he told me. It's not at all what he told me. And I wasn't told when I'd be running out of time. Like some people believe, like the Father said, like Jesus said, the Father said, only the Father knows when the time will be. The time the Son of Man comes back, only the Father knows. And some people will get on here and they'll say April 3rd. And then they live their life like April 3rd's the end and they're going to get raptured on April 3rd. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lord will come when he comes. And he will never tell any of you or me when he's coming. So, if you're a big Bible reader, you know that Revelations is prophesizing the end, and we are in that prophecy. We're close. That's how I know it was an angel. Didn't tell me a day. It didn't tell me a way to mislead people. The end is soon. And you have to get right with God. You have to. The Lord Jesus Christ is the only God. He's the way, the truth, and the life. As an atheist who had heard the word as a child and abandoned it, I'm coming back to the religion, reborn, to say he is the way, the truth, and the life. And our time is coming. Get right. Live for the Lord. I think I'll end the video today with a verse. Today's daily verse on the Bible, like I said earlier in the video. The verse of the day is Isaiah 60 verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. But I'm going to pick a verse myself to end the video with. Let's do Matthew. Matthew has a lot of good verses. Let's do 7. Or 4. 1 through 4. Matthew 7, verse 1 through 4. Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take that speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own? From now on, every video that I come out with will be about the Lord. Tying the Lord into games, tying the Lord into anything. Because I don't think there's anything more important in this world than him. Thank you.